Hey everyone, this is Toasted Gaming, and if this ain't your first video, you probably already know I've made a few questionable obsessive videos ranking every single game ever made on some of gaming's weirdest and most iconic engines. So we've covered everything from the legendary id Tech 3, home of Quake 3 Arena and 100 edgy teenagers LAN parties, to the build engine fever dream, where Duke Nukem and Liquidator somehow coexist in the same dimension. And now, we're diving into something a little more obscure. Today I'm ranking every single game ever made using the CatCore engine. And yes, that's a real engine, not a rejected Sonic fan character. If you've ever booted up a random budget CD-ROM game from 2003 and thought, wow, this feels like capitalism made a simulator and then forgot to finish it, then odds are it ran on CatCore. CatCore was the engine built and used exclusively by Cat Daddy Games, best known for cranking out more budget PC games than a Walmart bin in 2004. From Tycoon games about malls, schools, ski resorts, casinos, and cruise ships, to paintball shooters, gladiator sims, and whatever the hell Secret Vault games was supposed to be. This engine did it all. Barely. As always, these rankings are mostly based on my own opinion. Yes, I actually played or watched gameplay of all 21 of these things, which should qualify me for hazard pay, but I also factored in critic and user reviews just to balance things out, especially when the only footage available looked like it was recorded using a potato taped to a flip phone. Each game is judged on 5 core categories, and they are quality, fun factor, graphics, for the time, legacy, and innovation. Because it's not just about whether a game worked, it's also about whether it did anything that mattered. And hey, if you want early access to videos like this, you can join the channel and get them the full week before everyone else. I also give priority to members' video suggestions, and of course, your name will be listed in the credits as one of the beautiful degenerates who made this video possible. Let's be honest, without your support, I'd probably be forced to make let's plays of shovelware while begging Raid Shadow of Legends to sponsor my rant. So, strap in, grab a juice box or something with some alcohol, and join me as we rank every single CatCore engine game, from underrated gems to titles that feel like they escaped QA testing through a window. Let's start from the bottom, because trust me, it gets real rough before it gets good. We begin this journey at the very bottom, and I do mean bottom of the barrel, where the barrel has mold and regrets. Extreme Paintbrawl 4 is the 4th entry in a franchise that started bad, and somehow got worse. It's like someone tried to make a paintball shooter in their sleep and forgot to wake up during development. The AI barely works, the controls feel like you're moonwalking through glue, and the maps? Let's just say they make Quake's grey boxes look like Renaissance paintings. The only extreme thing here is the audacity to release 4 of these. I also ranked first game during my build engine ranking. You can check the video on my channel. And just like that one, this one is also, it's not a game really, it's a dare. A dare you lose by playing it. Next up, the Gladiators of Rome. A game that had a killer idea. Train and manage a team of bloodthirsty gladiators in ancient Rome, and then absolutely fumbled it into the lion pit. It wants to be part sports manager, part RTS, part action arena, but instead it feels like someone gave a spreadsheet a sword and asked it to entertain. Combat is barely interactive, you get to issue one command every few seconds, while your guys slowly walk into death animations that would embarrass a flash game. Yes, you can pump the crowd and unlock new weapons, but when the core gameplay feels like a turn-based PowerPoint presentation, who cares? A great concept buried under glorious incompetence. Coming in at 19th is Outdoor Live Sportsman's Challenge. also known as Tycoon for dudes who wear camo indoors. You run a giant wilderness resort for hunters, anglers and nature lovers, which sounds fun until you realize the UI is painful, the pacing is slower than a taxidermy session, and the fun is more simulated than the outdoors you're supposed to be recreating. The game feels like it was designed by someone who's heard of hunting, but only through Bass Pro Shop commercials. There's something here for fans of managing food plots and rental cabins, but most players will tap out before the first simulated dare wanders into the overpriced tree stand. Wildfire is a firefighting sim where you try to save lives, contain blazes and manage emergencies. But plot twist, the fire isn't the real danger, the controls are. This one actually had some potential, the team is unique, the stakes are cool, and fighting wildfire should feel intense. Instead, it feels like your team was trained in how not to hold the hose. The AI is laughable, pathfinding is broken, and good luck navigating through the interface without accidentally sending your guys into a tree. And when your biggest accomplishment is not lighting yourself on fire, maybe it's time to rethink the design. It's not a disaster, but it does burn out fast. Here we go, history buffs. American Civil War, Gettysburg. A game that dares to say, what if we made strategy turn-based, and then just left it there? Despite the name, it covers the whole war, not just Gettysburg. And that's nice, because after the first mission, you're already begging for variety. You give orders, watch the AI fumble around like it's confused by grass, and then repeat. The UI is rough, the battles are slow, and the 3D graphics look like a student mod for Command & Conquer. The first one. But hey, it includes an encyclopedia, so if the game bores you to death, at least you'll die historically informed. Casino Mogul is what you get when you try to turn Las Vegas into a spreadsheet. You're running a casino empire, laying out slot machines, building nightclubs, watching people slowly wander around, looking like they forgot why they were there. It's not totally terrible, which is already a CatCore achievement, but it lacks flash, flair, and the kind of chaos you want from casino gameplay. You don't really feel like a mogul, more like an assistant manager at a discount Chuck E. Cheese. It's not bad, it's not broken, it's just bland. Like if you were gambling in a casino that doesn't even use real money. All aboard the SS Mediocrity! Cruise Ship Tycoon puts you in charge of running a luxury cruise line. And by luxury, I mean the kind of ship where the biggest entertainment is watching the AI get stuck in a hallway. You build cabins, set up buffets, hire a DJ, and pray the boat doesn't turn into a floating prison. It's got charm, I'll give it that, but the micromanagement gets repetitive, the passengers are dumb as bricks, and everything starts to blur together like a bad vacation slideshow. Still, as far as CatCore Tycoon titles go, it's fine. You won't remember it, but you also won't need therapy afterward, which is saying something. Sliding into 14th is the History Channel Civil War, Great Battles, which sounds like it should be a powerful emotional retelling of historic bloodshed, but instead feels more like a school project that barely even passed. It wants to be immersive and tactical, but it ends up as a low-energy battlefield sim with bland visuals, weird AI, and camera angles so bad you'll feel like you're filming a documentary through binoculars duct taped to a potato. It's not awful. There's something oddly relaxing about commanding soldiers in low-res fog, but it feels more like a slideshow with marching noises than a real-time Civil War experience. Not quite a great battle, but maybe a mildly frustrating skirmish. Deal or No Deal, Secret Vault Games is the kind of weird spin-off you'd expect to find in a cereal box. And honestly, it's not that bad. This isn't just a rehash of a TV show. This is a full-on money-themed minigame gauntlet with 20 plus games that range from Hangman meets Wall Street to $sign Tetris to a banker-themed version of Snake. It's bizarre and it's clunky and it looks like it was programmed over a long weekend. But damn, it's creative. You never know what game's coming next, which is more excitement than I've ever had watching actual Deal or No Deal show. It's like WarioWare, but with a business degree and less fun. The original Deal or No Deal game is, well, exactly what it says on the tin. You pick a case, the banker calls you, and you sit there trying to pretend it's more than just glorified gambling for people who can't do math. But to be fair, it's clean, polished, and faithful to the show. Like, I don't know how would you make better Deal or No Deal game than what this is. The UI looks slick, the tension is there, and the voice lines might even trick your brain into thinking you're watching an actual show. It's not deep, but it knows what it is. A one-button casino game wearing a suit. And sometimes, that's all you need to kill 20 minutes and feel like a game show god. Tycoon 3 is the final game in a franchise that started bad, got worse, and then somehow looped back around to kinda okay. Sure, it's buggy, the shoppers are dumber than a brick in a food court, and half your stores sell the same product with different spelling. But for once, just once, it's actually playable, even charming. The mall layout system works, customization is fun, and you can finally build the shopping dystopia of your dreams without the game crashing every 6 seconds. It's still budget tier chaos, but compared to Mall Tycoon 2, this is practically SimCity with pretzels and indoor fountains. A guilty pleasure, and the most stable disaster of the trilogy. Is Splat magazine Renegade Paintball, a game that answers the very specific question: what if you had Counter-Strike, but it was softer, dumber, and full of neon paint? Now listen, it's not great. The AI is brain dead, feel like someone built them in MS Paint 3D, and the controls are as slippery as a soap bar in a locker room. But it's fun, in a dumb late night LAN party kind of way. You run around with paintball guns, try to survive matches with chaotic physics, and get flashbacks to a time when energy drinks and red versus blue videos define your personality. It's flawed, but compared to catastrophes that we've seen on this list already, this is practically Call of Duty. Skateboard Park Tycoon World Tour 2003 is exactly what it sounds like. You build skate parks and watch people fall off rails while you pretend you're a business mogul with a van sponsorship. It's basic, a little clunky, and definitely made for kids who thought Tony Hawk Pro Skater was too exciting, but there's something relaxing about it. You set up ramps, bowl pits, grind rails, then sit back as the skaters awkwardly ragdoll through your masterpiece. It lacks depth, but hey, there's a career mode, customization, and at least some progression. And let's be honest, for a 2003 CD-ROM game, probably sold next to Clippy Teacher's typing, it's doing fine. Golf Resort Tycoon is kind of like Sim Golf's low-budget cousin, a chill, surprisingly playable resort management sim that lets you build the most cursed golf course ever. You lay out fairways, place bunkers, and micromanage guests who want luxury experiences, but don't mind walking directly into trees. The visuals are simple, the UI is rough, but the core gameplay works, and that alone puts it ahead of half of this list. It's not flashy, but it's functional, and if you've ever wanted to build a golf empire where nobody actually plays golf correctly, this is your chance. Just don't expect Tiger Woods, and you might not be disappointed. Medieval Conquest tries to be a light strategy RPG, where you train heroes, build towns, and fight off goblins in a cheerful low-stakes fantasy world. And shockingly, it's kind of endearing. You don't directly control your units, you hire adventurers, train them, and let them do their thing, while you manage resources and pray they don't get themselves killed in a puddle of rats. It's a bit like Majesty, but more casual, and with that charming early 2000s junk where everything looks like slightly melted. There's a decent sense of progression, fun world design, and it doesn't collapse under its own ambition, which in CatCore terms basically makes it Baldur's Gate. It's not deep, but it's definitely underrated. In 6th place we got Championship Snowboarding 2004, a game that sounds like a serious sim, but is really just Snowboard Park Tycoon in a new jacket with a killer rock soundtrack by somebody called Flip. You get new characters, new levels, and best of all, it includes the original game as a bonus. It's 2 snowboarding chaos simulators for the price of 1. Yes, the physics are jank, the visuals are dated, and the controls sometimes feel like you're steering with elbows. But the variety is legit. It's got flaming hoops, challenge modes, and yetis with boomboxes. It's like SSX got lost at a garage sale. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Ski Resort Extreme is probably the most polished Tycoon-style game on this entire engine, which is a bit like saying this is the best built shack in a tornado zone, but still. You design a ski resort from the ground up, lay out slopes, build lifts, keep customers happy, and micromanage everything, from lodge layouts to snowplow roads. It's got good variety, a decent difficulty curve, and just enough chaos to keep you entertained when your poorly placed trail sends tourists directly into a tree. It may not win awards, but compared to the janky messes before, this thing is practically a roller coaster tycoon with frostbite. Back in the USA 2004 takes the solid foundation of the original Skateboard Park Tycoon and actually improves it. Imagine that. More refined gameplay, a better interface, smoother performance, and a career mode that actually feels like a progression system instead of a glorified sandbox. It's still goofy, still simple, but now it's good goofy. You can build huge parks, watch skaters shred, or faceplant, and unlock new tools along the way. For a kid in early 2000s, this game was a dream, especially if your PC couldn't handle Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. It's got charm, and it's got energy, and it never forgets that this is supposed to be fun. Now this is where CatCore engine goes off the rails, in the best possible way. Snowboard Park Tycoon is barely a tycoon game. It's more like an unhinged winter sports playground where you build jumps and immediately launch yourself into orbit. It's got first-person snowboarding, where challenges like flaming hoops, monkeys doing tricks, and even a mode where the goal is to break all 206 bones in your body. Yeah, that's real. And yeah, it is amazing. The controls are wonky, the graphics are dated, and yet it's fun as hell. There's creativity here, and the devs clearly leaned into the chaos rather than pretending they were making a serious sim. This one's unforgettable, for all the right reasons, and a few of the wrong ones. In second place, we have Gold Resort Tycoon 2, and I'll be honest, I was shocked too. This game is like that quiet kid in school who suddenly shows up to prom dressed better than everyone else, and you're like, wait, you had this in you the whole time? The sequel takes everything the original did and just does it better. Smoother UI, more depth, smarter AI, more variety in how you manage your guests and build your resort. There's even event planning, better landscaping tools, and a real sense of progression. It's chill, it's smart, and most importantly, it works like a real strategy game instead of a digital shrug. Golf Resort Tycoon 2 might not be flashy, but it's the rare CatCore game that actually feels finished. And finally, at number 1, the undisputed champion of the CatCore engine, School Tycoon. This game is what happens when Roller Coaster Tycoon and the Sims sneak off behind the gym and come back with a baby that sells vending machine snacks. You build classrooms, hire teachers, place playgrounds, and basically run a school that's one recess away from total anarchy. And somehow, it's actually polished. The interface is clean, the gameplay loop is satisfying, and the tone is light-hearted without being stupid. Plus, the cartoony graphics still hold up in a weird early 2000s charm kind of way. It's fun, replayable, and shockingly balanced for a game that came out of the same engine that gave us Extreme Paintbrawl 4. School Tycoon isn't just the best CatCore game, it's the only one that might have genuinely earned its spot on a retail shelf. And that's the full list. Every single CatCore engine game ranked, from unplayable disasters to actual hidden gems. In my opinion, even best game that we've seen here, in my opinion best was School Tycoon, as you saw. I think it was 6 out of 10 game. So nothing special here. There's nothing I would recommend. Maybe School Tycoon, but that's it. And if you enjoyed this dive into one of the strangest corners of gaming history, hit that like button, so I know it was worth melting my brain for 21 separate titles that all smelled like burnt ram. Leave a comment below and tell me which rankings you agree with, which ones made you scream, and which game you'd secretly put higher because nostalgia is a hell of a drug. And of course, subscribe for more videos like this. I've got engine rankings, shooter retrospectives, and way too many ideas for stuff no one else on YouTube is crazy enough to attempt. And if you want to go one step further and join the channel, you'll get 1 week early access to every big video like this. Your name is in the credits, and priority for your video suggestions. Meaning your idea might be the next Curse deep dive I make a full video out of. Speaking of that, drop your suggestions for future videos down below. Got another weird engine you want me to rank? Or maybe you got a forgotten franchise you want dragged into the spotlight. Or maybe it's a bizarre game you want explained. I read them all. I suffer for you guys, and I love it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.